As a boy, Davis Phinney watched a race that became the beginning of a dream.
Sometimes it seems incredibly tough. Only with a team, you don't even think about quitting.
Here are some familiar pictures. Davis Phinney, arms thrust skyward in victory. So successful, they call him the cash register.
When I was first diagnosed with Parkinson's, I had had a relatively flourishing TV career following up on the heels of a good pro bike racing career. I was really starting to notice a decline in my physical capacity and my mental acuity for my job. And then, of course, with Parkinson's, the most overt symptoms start coming, and I started to get this shaky hand. As I started to research into Parkinson's, and I looked at my age, and I realized that you know, there's no cure at the moment for this disease, and I'm only going to get worse, and you know, things down the line could look pretty grim for me, for a guy who's just survived on being healthy and being physically fit and active and productive. It was very, very sobering. I realized that I had a choice of how to approach the disease. It's one thing to be a bike racer and say, okay, I'm going to race in the Olympics, for example, and that's 2 years from now. So I'm going to dedicate all these next 2 years to training and focus and preparing for this single event. Well, with PD, your goal is to stem decline, and it's almost the opposite of what reaching for the Olympics is. Instead of reaching for a high point, you're just trying to not get to a low point as quickly. All day you're on this sort of up and down wave of staying on your meds. So I definitely felt like I was at my wit's end. It was the kind of experience where I was taking a drug and I would sit there and I'd be like, for an hour, and then the drug would take effect and then I'd be like, and then it would start to wear off and I'd be like, and I'd just do that cycle all day long.
The price you pay for the little bit of relief that he got anyway from the medicines, and some people do fabulously well on the medicine, but the little bit of relief he got really seemed to be outweighed by the terrific, you know, extraneous movements. I mean, it was hard to look at him sometimes because he was moving so much, and that wasn't PD, that was the medicine.
The deep brain stimulation surgery has most directly affected my life in the obvious way of quelling my tremor, first and foremost, to a very large degree. And so that now, instead of spending 99% of my 24-hour day, half of me thinking about what I'm trying to do, even if it includes sleep, half of me used to be managing my tremor and just trying to control my uncontrollable arm. Well, I don't have to do that anymore. You know, I can still ride, but it's difficult. I mean, I still have Parkinson's disease. I can still ski, but it's difficult. The Davis Phinney Foundation has been a real blessing, I feel, for myself, and I know for a number of people whose lives have been touched by what we try to do. The longer that I've gone on, and I've personally lived with the disease, and I've dealt with people who live with the disease, it became really clear to me that maybe my voice could be best given over not so much to raising money for curing Parkinson's, but more just to be able to find a way to help people live a better life right now. We do some funding of research proving the fact that exercise is not only good for you, but it's actually even showing some signs of being neuroprotective. If we can empower some part of the Parkinson's population, and in that way, you can combat the disease successfully.